didn't see you there. Whoa! Well, I mean, if you're here, let's watch this video about my action plan for family involvement for ELLs. So, first things first, communication is key. And what I mean by this is to make sure that you try your best to communicate with the parent. Panfrov shows this by stating that home exposure to reading and writing is paramount, and it also supports school literacy. So by doing this, you're making sure that the child already has an environment that promotes learning and shows how important it is for daily life. If you just have the TV on, the child's not going to see the significance of reading and writing because they're not going to see it from their parents. And unfortunately, they're the best role model. Another really important factor that Panfrov states is that the child should not be the translator for the parent. What this means is that you should always use a translator, not from the student. The reason being is that from Panfrov's case study, the child that was the translator for the mother basically always fudged what really happened. The student got in a lot of trouble and never brought that up to the mother because they didn't want to get in trouble. Terasawa and Wagner really use Epstein's typologies. And this is really a bullet-by-bullet, note-for-note format that you should use when trying to communicate and get the parent involved in your classroom, and for the whole community for that matter. So, the first major component is to assist parents in any parenting skills that they need. The second one, communication. Always have two-way communication. That doesn't just mean that you give pamphlets to the parent, but you also take translations back and understand what the parent wants you to do and how you can help them. Number 3, volunteering. It's always important to have parents volunteer within the classroom. Number 4, learning at home. This really coincides with having the parents get involved with the schoolwork. Some cultures don't have parents get involved with that, but to hopefully have the student learn English more quickly, parents should get involved with the coursework. Number 5, decision making. This means that parents should have a voice and have a say to what they think is most important for their child. This might be having a translator during a PTA meeting. And finally, number 6, community collaboration. And this is when you have nonprofit groups collaborate within the school to hopefully provide programs that will not only help the student, but the parents. So in regards to communication, what are possible methods? First and foremost, multimodal communication, which means that you have multiple ways to contact them, not just having a translator or using a free translator for that matter. Another really important thing to do is have home visits, if possible. Hopefully having the parent go inside, seeing that you're really putting the effort to communicate, and have them get involved within the child's education. Another helpful thing is having telephone trees or some mode of social networking to have every parent, not just the ELL parent, be informed within the school. And buddy parents, excuse me. This means that you have a family, hopefully, that also is of that similar culture, and they're able to help each other and help the new family out in terms of getting up to speed. Finally, bilingual workshops. This is a service provided for the parents to hopefully, get incorporated within the school and get their voices heard. One case study that I thought was really significant was actually Park Rose School District in Portland. They really made an effort to have their EL parents be involved within the school system. And by doing that, they tried to make as many accommodations as possible for said parent. First thing that they did is brought in community organizations, mainly the Self-Enhancement Incorporated, SEI, and the Latino Network. And these are just services that are provided to not only have the parents be involved in the school system, but also within their own community. Secondly, Park Rose School District knew that communication is a two-way street. So, first off, they listened to marginalized groups in their community and heard what they said and tried to make accommodations to their concerns. First and foremost, at meetings they offered free food. Secondly, they brought in free transportation for the parents if they're not able to get to the meeting because of lack of transportation. Secondly, they offered childcare for those meetings. They also offered free translation services. This really works well in PTAs or teacher-parent nights because the ELL parent feels like they have a voice now, not just receiving information and you, the teacher, telling them what to do. Finally, the Parkrose School District also offered other services beyond the cultural night that most school districts did. One example is that they had an art show, and because of that, more parents became involved because they didn't just see themselves as being significant for a cultural awareness month, but instead being a part of the society and contributing to that society. And this case study is all shown by Terasawa and Wagner. So I gave a brief overview of what works for ELL students and their parents to collaborate within the classroom. So for our school district, I'm going to lay out my plan of what needs to be done for us to succeed like Parkrose School District did. First and foremost, I think what would be the most significant change for our school district to do is incorporate Epstein's typology into our own programs. One thing that I propose is that we have monthly one-to-one meetings for the parents with the teacher, and in this discussion it would be a two-way street, and it allows for parents to not only see the positive behaviors of their child, but also some negative behaviors that should be corrected. And hopefully, if at all possible, we'll have a translator. We could separate the monthly meetings so that the translator will be able to accommodate for all parents. And if possible, it would be great to have a home visit because not all parents are able to give up time of their week to go over to the school. Accessible communication to the parent should also be stressed. This means that we should provide buddy parents for the ELL parent and hopefully have other technologies incorporated. So if they can't take a phone call, we can give them an email, a newsletter, etc. And hopefully this will all be integrated so that we have bi-weekly communication with the parent, just so that they're able to have a checkup and not have to wait a whole month for their meeting. We also need to offer volunteering opportunities for our parents so they feel like they are contributing members to not only the classroom, but to our community. It's also a very important factor to have parents have a sense of agency within our school district, and instead of just being told what to do, we also need to be able to receive some insights and their thoughts. And this would be extremely important for a PTA meeting to have a translator present so that a parent can actually have their voices expressed instead of just listening and sitting there. It's also important to have community collaboration in our school district. Given that we're in Portland, and Parkrose School District is also in Portland, I suggest that we look at the community organizations that they used, like SEI and the Latino Works nonprofit, and hopefully other programs, and we adapt that into our school district so that the parents have a sense of well-being and that not only are they part of the community, but we want them to be in our community. Finally, we need to have parents become involved in the schoolwork, and we should have several assignments that allow parents to contribute with their student. This can be seen with Protasio and Edwards stating, modifying sharing time by specifically asking ELs and their parents to use cultural artifacts was conceptualized as a way to foster more interaction and let some more classroom involvement among parents of ELs. And this shouldn't just be used as a share and tell assignment, but also any other heritage assignment, and incorporate that not only in social studies and language arts, but also in mathematics and sciences if applicable. Hopefully, with all these things, we're able to build a better community, provide more services for those marginalized groups that are often looked over. Thank you.